Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Belfield Bowl for the 12th round of the AIL Division 1A 12th round fixture between UCD, aka College, versus Shannon. This is a match that sees 9th play 8th, with UCD on 2 wins, Shannon 3. Points difference, both sides are in the red, 109 for UCD, 118 for Shannon. But both teams are doing very well in terms of try bonus and losing bonus points. But just 1 point between the two, 18 points to UCD, 19 points to Shannon. This is Conor Dempsey, aka Merv, handing over to lead commentator today, John Gilsonan.
Thanks very much, Conor, and great to be here. Great day for rugby. We'll just run through the teams before kickoff, starting with our visitors, Shannon. In the front row, Kieran Ryan, Jordan Prenderville and Luke Rigney. In the second row, Jade Creel, David Maher. And in the back row, Sean McCarthy and your captain, Kelvin Brown and Lee Nicholas. The halfbacks, Aaron Hare and Michael Cook. In the centres for Shannon, Alan Flannery, Killian Deneen. And the back three made up of Dan Hurley, Jack O'Donnell and John O'Sullivan. For UCD, in the front row, Jack Boyle, Bobby Sheehan, the captain, and Rory Maguire. In the second row, Martin Fallon, Jerry Hill. In the back row, Joe Cronin, Oisin Spain, Bill Burns. The halfbacks, Mick Maloney and James Tarrant. In the centre, Tim Corkery and Harry Donnelly. And the back three made up of Dylan O'Grady, Ross Deegan and Niall.
Tarrant, the out half, ready to kick off, and somebody's lace has broken in the Shannon dressing room as the sun just breaks through the clouds here. So this is really a must-win game. Both teams, as we'll tell you later on, face very similar opposition on the run-in the campaign here. So a victory today, both of them playing the same teams bar one in the next 5 to 6 matches, and a win for either side is going to be a major coup.
It really is, yeah. Business end of the season now, and every point is crucial as we get towards the end of the season, and it's, as you can see, nothing between the two teams.
Just 8 degrees here. The sun's coming out. It's the weather app this morning said we'd have a dry day. We didn't. We've had quite a bit of drizzle. So it's a great surface here at the Bowl, but definitely it's cutting up a little bit at the top end of things. So we'll see when it gets to scrum time or the outside backs look to pull a move as to how that affects them.
And just to cut in there, Merv, huge thank you to matchday sponsors MMPI in their support to the club.
Yes, MMPI, Maloney Mortgages, Investments, Pensions and Insurance are the matchday sponsors today.
And Andrew Cowell, our referee, gets the game underway with James Tarrant kicking deep into the Shannon half. It's a good exit straight away from kickoff from the Shannon fullback. And UCD have the line out just inside their 10-metre line.
If there's any sunshine, it's on this side for the throwers. So Bobby Sheehan, brother of Irish hooker Dan Sheehan, lining up his first of the day.
Good throw there from Bobby Sheehan. UCD got to the maul. It should be a good physical battle all day, and UCD looking to set out the early marker. Box kick from Mick Maloney. And Ross Deegan seemed to win that. The ball went backwards. And UCD look to play here. Tarrant, they go wide. It's Dylan O'Grady on that far wing. Shannon do well to get across. Ball very slow getting back, but Mick Maloney has it. Shannon off the line very quick. And Maloney once again opting for the box kick. It's a better kick this time. And Shannon just come away with it. Two box kicks early on from Maloney. Obviously UCD playing for territory, trying to get down into the Shannon half, force them to exit. Aaron Hare with the box kick and Dylan O'Grady underneath it. Or that's Mick Maloney. It's gone backwards. Bobby Sheehan with the carry. UCD probably looking to build an exit once again. Get out of their half. Maloney once again with the box kick. Probably not as deep as he wanted it. And it's fairly scrappy. Gone into touch off Shannon, so UCD ball.
Well, given where that last line had started, really, that was a score draw there, and both sides feeling each other out. It's a very still day here, no real wind to talk of. College solid enough there. Unfortunately, Mick Maloney with the drop ball, the only real error of note so far. And we start again with another throw.
Jerry Hill taking that in the line out, and UCD going to the maul again. It's been a pretty cagey couple of minutes, Connor. No team giving an inch, really.
Yeah, UCD did move it out to the wing there once, but it's been all box kicking apart from that.
And just a knock on from UCD from the box kick. And we'll see the first scrum.
First scrum, and UCD have welcomed back from the Leinster Academy 2 former Irish under-20 props in Rory Maguire on the tight head, this camera side, and Jack Boyle, hotly fancied loose head, who's just back playing his first game since October following injury, and he looks to have put on a bit of heft in the intervening period. So, but you can do all the practice scrummaging you want. It's match day scrummaging against Shannon, where the rubber hits the road.
Referee Andrew Cowell just looking to enforce himself, probably opting for a reset here.
Shannon fullback up on the line, John O'Sullivan.
And Niall Carroll, interestingly, defending at number 10, playing 15 today for UCD, but defending at number 10 with James Tarn and Harry Donnelly outside him. The referee still opting for a reset. Shannon thought they'd won the penalty, but we'll go again.
I was expecting a raised arm as well. The referee maybe giving another chance or seeing something different. That said, I have to say, John, I'm from an era where a wheel scrum wasn't an offence in the past. So I'm not sure why it is now. It's part of the game. If it wheels on the point of input, that's what it is. It's a wheel scrum.
My expertise don't stretch that far, Merv, but we'll let the referee, Andrew Cole, try and figure it out himself.
I forgive you your sins. Now, as a back row player,
that's a lot more solid.
Very limited as well. But Shannon again getting the shoulder up on the loose head side, and so
they took their time, but you can see there Shannon just getting the shove on, and I think it's against Maguire on the near.
You know, it's an old-fashioned view, but I don't know why the two scrums have made good contact. It's a proper engagement, but obviously not proper enough if you're giving that much yardage, I suppose. So referees interpreting the rules correctly, no question there.
And Shannon with the line out just outside the UCD 22, thrown in by Jordan Prendeville. The maul hasn't seemed to work for them, so they'll look to play through the midfield. Aaron Hare at the base of the ruck gives it out. Good hands from Shannon. I think that's Prendeville again. UCD slowing it down, but not enough advantage.
Boyle, a converted back rower in his school days, ended up playing front row, but started as a ball carrying number 8, and you'll see that he's got that pace for a big man, for a big prop. He likes to get off the line both in defence and attack.
Shannon going for the corner once again, and our line out just about 10, 12 metres outside UCD's line.
You're right. If anyone's had any purchase, Gilly, out of the lineup mall so far, UCD have made, you know, what meterage has been made. Shannon, so far they haven't, but they might change that up here.
Looks solid. Shannon try and get the second shove on. They keep it in. It's pretty good from UCD so far. Aaron Harris looking to dig it out. Have they got over? Held up from UCD. And that's UCD be pretty happy with that because the maul started going and they managed to get a body underneath it.
And good maul skills there from Shannon. The ball was well controlled at the back. They had 2 or 3 attempts at it, and I thought they were going to get in there, but well done to whoever got under that for College. And referee Cole on the spot to call it.
James Tarn with the goal line restart. Taken there by John O'Sullivan. Shannon looked to run it back. Dan Hurley.
UCD line speed pretty passive so far today. They're inviting them to come on.
And Michael Cook conducting things from right half. UCD call for the knock on, and that's correct. Good line speed on the outside there. Harry Donnelly and Dylan O'Grady on the far wing forced the knock on. UCD be pretty pleased with that.
Shannon with 3 wins this season coming against UCD, as we said earlier, Gary Owen and Lansdowne, but also 2 losses so far as the turn of the year against Lansdowne and Young Munster by narrow enough margins. So both teams losing narrowly.
UCD got down the blind there with Mick Maloney giving it to Dylan O'Grady, but Shannon kick it back, and it's a very good kick. That'll be a Shannon ball as well, 50-22. Really nice. I'm not sure what UCD were trying to do there. They went down the blind side. O'Grady kicked it on, but there was no real kick chase, and Shannon, they left the backfield wide open anyway, and it's just Shannon ball.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to justify that kick there. It didn't make sense. Was the chase not strong enough maybe, or was it just the wrong place, the wrong time?
The chase wasn't bad, but they left that whole corner wide open, and Shannon capitalised, and they go to the maul again. UCD still pretty solid, and yeah, it's going nowhere. Shannon use it now. Look to go wide. 15, John O'Sullivan kicking it through. And we'll go back for advantage.
Lovely little dink in behind lines there. I thought Shannon might just get to that, but well defended.
That's 15, John O'Sullivan, who kicked it through. Looks a real ball player. Kicks for Shannon as well, so probably a footballing background of some sort.
Did you see what that penalty was for? I didn't see the referee's signal.
I'm not sure. Shannon go to the corner again anyway, and they haven't got much purchase on the maul yet, but they'll probably try again.
Well, this is about 7 metres out.
Probably less.
Even less, yeah.
Jordan Prendeville to deliver it. UCD will look to stay strong as they've done in the last maul anyway. UCD get the early shove. Can Shannon get the second shove on, and they're going forward now. It's hard to stop them from here. Jordan Prendeville just goes short, and the referees awarded a penalty try. Not sure against who, but the maul was going forward. As you can see here, Prendeville had it at the back. It's hard to see with all the bodies in there, but someone took it down illegally, and
one college player at the very back there.
The referee straight under the sticks. Yellow card there for UCD, was it?
Yes, we're on a yellow there for College.
James Tarn with the restart. That's Joe Cronin, who's just from Simbint.
Blindside wing forwards can't help themselves.
That's Dan Hurley. Gets a lot of purchase down the left wing. Offloads it nicely. They can go through the hands here. They have a lot of space out there. Jack O'Donnell on the right wing. The touch is signalled for a line out. UCD will be pretty happy with that because they were really, really under the pump there.
Yeah, College started very well against Ballinhinch here 2 weeks ago, and then there were a number of scores in quick succession, and that certainly Lansdowne, Shannon, chasing it back, racing it back towards the same position we were in just 2 minutes ago as people fell off tackles. It's very hard to understand why a team starts so strong and in a bit of adversity sort of see heads going down and tackles suddenly, space being found and tackles being missed.
UCD, yeah, definitely be disappointed, as you said, Murph. Straight off the restart, Shannon got about 30 metres purchase up the pitch, which you can't really be giving away at this level.
Looks like Jerry Hill has been patched up for his blood there, and Simon Burke has returned to the touchline. Still UCD now, how will they do? 14 men.
Rory Maguire takes it up the midfield. UCD be looking to exit and just clear their lines here. Back with Tarrant. Nearly blocked down. It'll be UCD ball, but just on the 5 metre line. James Tarrant was lucky there because they were right on top of him.
Yeah, the pass was fading as it reached him. So it would be interesting to see if Mick Maloney goes to clear this himself this time. The only saving grace there for College was that it took a touch off Shannon.
Obviously, and throws it in. Jerry Hill receives again. On the exact same, Rory Maguire up the middle. Real physical player, you can see it out there. And I think Mick Maloney's shaping for the box kick. That's good purchase on that. That's really good from Mick.
Well fielded by Jack O'Donnell.
Shannon go up in the air. Back with Niall Carroll. Shannon really pinning them down here. The UCD barely got into Shannon half yet. It's Shannon really looking just to pin UCD back down here and play the game in this half anyway. Back with Maloney again, looking to box kick. And it's charged down. But I think the referee penalty for offside.
UCD living dangerously here.
I think it's just a case of cool heads. You can just see here Shannon just creeping above the hindmost foot. And obviously got the block down. But it's really poor from UCD.
I've seen far worse, in fairness. People crawl halfway up the ruck, haven't been given offside, and he wasn't that far offside, but referee's best place to call it.
And James Tarrant just getting into the Shannon half with that penalty. Just a case of cool heads, and UCD just calming down a bit and trying to look for a bit of territory.
Yeah, apart from the line-out maul and the box kicking, College really haven't, put their stamp on this game yet at all. So it's important to think now that they show Shannon that they're in this. They're not that they're not going to roll over here, and build a bit of pressure and ask some questions of Shannon, who so far certainly look to have a bit more brio about them today, a bit more edge right across the field.
Time just off there. There was a Shannon player down, but looks to be okay. Jogging back into the line. And Bobby Sheehan with the UCD line out on the far side. UCD go out the back, but it's scrappy. Dylan O'Grady gathers it. Jerry Hill now. Advantage UCD will look to use the free play. James Tarrant tries to dink one through, but goes nowhere. And we'll go back for the penalty. No roll away from Shannon.
Yeah, passing very laterally there, nobody punching onto it from College again. So just that overall, that passiveness both on the ball and in defence so far today that we've seen.
Tarrant again kicks it just between the 10-metre line and the 22. So UCD will look to play here and get a foothold in this game.
Yeah, I think College need to do something with this ball to show to themselves as much as anyone else that they mean business today. This is the best field position they've had in 10 minutes.
Joe Cronin goes up. Bobby Sheehan on the loop.
Bobby Sheehan in open prairie.
UCD looking for a quick ball with Jerry Hill there, driven backwards. Ushing Spain now. With Tarrant now, he cuts inside, looks for an offload, nothing's there. Jerry Hill goes now. That's it. Shannon penalty. Double movement, I think.
Here we see in the replay here. And the referee best place from this angle. Can't be sure what happened there. So College letting the pressure off Shannon, having built their first position in some time. And we're back just short of halfway.
UCD be happy enough there. They got some good go forward ball, and unfortunately obviously gave away the penalty, but positive first kind of proper entry into the Shannon half. So they did get some good go forward ball, so they'll be looking to build on that. The line out just the opposite side to ourselves here, just inside the Shannon half, and Jordan Prenderville to throw it in.
They still made the gain line.
And Shannon go out the back, and Michael Cook puts the ball in the air. Tim Corkery pretty solid underneath that. UCD just outside their 22. Looking to exit again. Maguire and Boyle trying to set a platform that Mick Maloney can probably box kick from. Mick Maloney just ordering his forwards to get into position. John O'Sullivan underneath it. Ross Deegan falls off the tackle. Oisin Spain with the tackle there. Shannon not showing much here. But they're going forward anyway, but they're not showing a huge amount, and Aaron Hare lining up for a box kick here.
That ball looked like it could have been challenged there by College.
Definitely, yeah. The sun in Mick Maloney's eyes here would be tough. Does really well and calls a mark. Interesting, Shannon opting to kick, inside their half. They kind of, not a bad position to play from, but they opt to kick and put Maloney under a bit of pressure. And it's not the best kick for Maloney, and it'll be a Shannon ball.
No, the pressure back on College again. Shannon, good structure to their game. Making most all of the running here so far. And that sun certainly is an issue for anybody who's in the right-hand corner here. Ross Deegan's wing.
It's a perfect day for rugby now, isn't it, Murph?
Capital.
No excuse. Jordan Prenderville throws it in. Aaron Hare feeds it into the midfield. It's Calvin Brown, carries it up. More Rory Maguire looks to be in a spot of bother in the middle of the pitch there. And Shannon Aaron Hare into the midfield. They go out the back. That's a knock on from Shannon. They'll be pretty disappointed there. They had a bit of space, but no real excuse to be dropping that ball.
We'll take some time here for Rory Maguire, who's got some sort of arm injury. It's a very modern campus here in Belfield, and Belfield Bowl has been developed over the last number of decades. Still retains its shape, but of course all the infrastructure that's gone in around it since the 1930s, when this campus started to be put together. College, actually the older senior club here. College got their senior status in 1919. Shannon were 1954.
Rory Maguire just coming off there. Looks an injury to the hand or the forearm. An Ireland under 20 Grand Slam winner, and a really good player in his own right. First year Leinster Academy this year, and grew up in Chicago, funnily enough, Merv, and moved on to Blackrock.
Can you hear his accent from there?
Moved on to play his rugby in Blackrock, and then UCD and Leinster now.
Yes. Well, they breed them big in Chicago. He certainly reminds me of the 1980s Chicago Bears. It was the Fridge, I think, was his name. Big unit.
Free kick there for UCD,
Quickly
and they go quick. Harry Donnelly, Niall Carr now look to get down the wing with Ross Deegan here. Deegan cuts inside, gets good gain line. UCD looking to go quick now. It's really nice from Tarrant. Goes out the back with Dylan O'Grady now, who's a real speedster. Offloads to Bobby Sheehan.
Another speedster.
UCD really looking to go forward and play quickly with Boyle now. Tarrant now feeds it to Oisin Spain. Niall Carroll now looks to kick. Niall Carroll into their 22. It's a pretty good option from Niall Carroll, who forces John O'Sullivan to exit, and College have the line out inside the Shannon 10.
Still UCD over and back there, and very much playing behind the gain line. Nobody really taking it on and putting a stamp on it. Good handling skills, but would like to see if they're going to get anywhere today, they're going to need to punch it up a bit more. Nobody seems to be owning that so far, either from the forwards or the backs.
Sheehan throws it in, and they go off the top from Jerry Hill. Deegan in the midfield with Tim Corkery. Out to Tarrant, and Harry Donnelly looks to go through. It's really nice from UCD. If they can get some go forward ball. Back with Jerry Hill. Oh, Jerry Hill does really well. He's going. Just him in the full back.
He's had his Weetabix today. Certainly, I thought the high knee lift, I thought he might take it all the way in.
You can see him here. He just manages somehow to break about 3 Shannon tackles, and it looks like he's going all the way. But the
perfect setup for a step off the left there. That's what would have been going for. Gilly, what do you think?
Would you have the feet for that, would you?
Well, Merv the swerve, you know.
But it's looking positive from UCD. It's the first proper. It's actually a UCD ball. It obviously came off a Shannon player. UCD just about all onto that. With Bobby Sheehan now. Shannon looked to be over it, but I think UCD done enough. Jack Boyle now. I think that's Evan Coyle now.
Shannon very tenacious around the edges, Gilly.
Bill Burns now has a go himself.
This would be where you'd like the heft of Chicago-born Rory Maguire on the field, but they have to do
Spain.
without him. College.
They need to come away with some sort of points anyway. There's a lot of bodies in there. A lot of space out wide if UCD look to use it. Bobby Sheehan goes a little bit wider. Slow ball, but UCD go and lunge for the line. UCD, Niall Carroll screaming for the ball on this right side wing. With Tim Corky, and Niall Carroll goes now for the line. It looks like he scored it. It's a brilliant finish from Niall Carroll. Really, really good from UCD.
Well, you don't see that often these days, you know, where normally the pack just keep going, and the backs tear their hair out. But this time, having done all that under the post, the back line trust themselves, put it through the hands.
Gorgeous pass from Tim Corky there.
And Niall Carroll, who kept the width, gets the reward.
Really, really good finish from Niall. Niall Carroll actually goes off to Australia in the morning for an Erasmus, 6 months studying over there. So best of luck to Niall, and just reward getting a try today, I think.
He'll be able to tell people, whoever's sitting beside him on the plane is going to have an unfortunate trip, you know, listening to how he ran that one in, how he called for it, etc., etc. So,
knowing Niall, he'll be as modest as ever and wouldn't even mention it. Mick Maloney here with the kick to try and add the extra 2 points. Looks good from here, just off the post. That's really good from Mick Maloney. Straight from the touchline is brilliant now. With about 30 minutes gone, Merv, it's been a proper nip and tuck. First 30 anyway.
Well, it just shows the importance of building some pressure and asking some questions of the opposition, and they closed that out well. I mean, both pack and backs there showed good form and owned that field position to turn it into 7 points.
Michael Cook with the restart there, gathered by Dylan O'Grady.
See how Shannon react to that.
A score before half time probably for either team be pretty crucial. Mick Maloney setting up for the box kick once again.
I mean, 2 charge downs so far off either halfback, but not this time. Well
gathered
fielded
by John O'Sullivan.
He's been solid all day, hasn't he?
He's been, yeah, pretty good underneath it.
Great feet.
And UCD win the penalty. Jack Boyle, I think, coming up with it. Jack Boyle just back from a few months off the field with a knee and an ankle injury. And you can just see him getting in over the ball here. That's really, really, really good. Two
Referee
Shannon
Cole,
players.
Sorry, yeah. Referee Cole here having a chat about a bit of, as Bill McLaren would have said, a bit of argy-bargy. Nothing much going on though when there's 2 backs involved, Gilly, I'm sure you'll agree.
I think, yeah, nothing to see here. Let's play ball. James Tarrant with the kick, and he's done well. He's lucky. Lying out well inside the Shannon 22, so UCD will look to get another score before half time probably.
Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk it based on the last 20 minutes? College turning it around. And a bit like Shannon after their score, you know, UCD, albeit through a Shannon penalty, taking good field position again. And a steal by Shannon, well up. They've read something there, and they've read it well.
Really disappointing for UCD. They'd have looked to get at least a score out of that entry into 22, but Aaron Hare sets up for the box kick once again.
Great steal. Bobby Sheehan's going to have to recalibrate and think again, but he gets an early opportunity to have a second crack at it, and still decent field position from a UCD perspective.
Yeah, Shannon got just read it well and got up right in the middle where UCD were looking to go to the tail. And UCD will go again. Up to Jerry Hill, and Shannon got up again.
Well, there's a turn up for the Bucks. And more pushing and shoving on the far touchline.
Shannon haven't showed much with the ball so far. It's been quite tight and a lot of kicking. They're obviously just opting to play the territory game and try and get down into UCD's half, which they're doing here with Dylan O'Grady underneath this. Does
yeah,
well,
but you know, with moves like that, UCD have encouraged Shannon to to kick and to do it, to be conservative, because UCD have been indecisive, and they've put a couple of balls like that down. So they're inviting those searching kicks, and even not that searching. There wasn't any great chase, wasn't any real pressure there. So lack of concentration lets Shannon in for a big 40-meter gain.
Poor from
His player, isn't that right?
correct, yes. Grand Slam winner.
His brother is, I think, subbing today, Alex. They frequently the two wingmen here for College in Belfield.
Alex, the try scorer last week against Lansdowne, which saw UCD just come up 3 points short in a great game last Friday night. And Shannon win the penalty off that scrum. Bobby Sheehan looking at the ref, bit confused. I think it's against Evan Coyle.
Yeah, Evan Coyle sort of been told that he was slipping his bind or else driving in. I think it's slipping his bind a bit. The last thing you want as a college tight head, and they made the most of that right on the 5 now. Last thing you want as a college tight head up against Shannon is for the referee to start pinging you for a technical issue. That seemed to be a 50-50 scrum, but College getting a bit of edge nefariously there.
Shannon will go after that all day. Any easy in a scrum time.
And from being down on Shannon's line, or Shannon's 22, it's all roles reversed with a couple of penalties.
Taken in the air by Jade Creel. Shannon go forward now. It's back with Jordan Prendeville. Aaron Hare.
Looks good for them.
Looks good. Jordan Prendeville gets over pretty easily. The first few mauls down there, UCD put up a good defence, but Shannon pretty much walked over there.
And there's a bit of niggle developing between these packs.
You can
Good
see
tight maul there.
Yeah, Jordan Prendeville at the back.
Well structured, nice and tight, always in control. Now we get to see Shannon place kicker here. This is the 10.
Michael Cook, I believe, yeah.
Not an easy kick, but it is a still day. Fairly wide out.
Strikes it well. Looks good from where we are. Straight between the posts.
A fine strike. So 2 good place kickers on the pitch today. At least 2.
Could prove important. Just a few minutes left before half time. UCD will look to get some sort of points anyway before the end of this half. James Tarrant with the restart. Shannon calling for a high tackle from Ross Egan, but I think brilliant steal. Jerry Hill, I think, came up with the ball. Really, really good. Great kick chase from Ross Egan there.
And we see the kick-off again here.
Sean McCarthy underneath the Shannon captain.
Ross Deegan clatters him, and you'd have to say he might have been lucky to get away with that arm there. Seemed to swing.
Probably just at his shoulder, but yeah, 50-50 you could say.
Sean McCarthy being spoken to by the ref.
Seems to
Maybe
be
he didn't agree with the ref's decision or non-decision on that tackle.
unhappy with it, but as the Shannon captain, the ref doesn't want to accept any of that.
Things are coming to the boil here, no two ways about it in this match. Neither team has really dominated. Shannon have had the edge for the most part.
James Tarrant goes into the corner and UCD will look to come away with a try here. There's no two ways about it.
Will there be a move or will it be a take and maul?
Well, the line out goes well after the last two being intercepted. It's at the back now with Bobby Sheehan. UCD looking to get the shove on. Sheehan breaks off. Looks to go for the line. 2 meters short. UCD pick and go now. They don't want to get held up.
That was Jack Boyle.
Martin Fallon goes now. Sheehan goes again.
Decent latch on him there.
Some
Quick
meters
pick.
short. I think they're over. Brilliant.
Tit for tat. And it's UCD's turn to dance around and get in the face of the Shannon team.
Not sure who
Getting
came
a
up
bit
with
of
the ball.
reaction. It is
Boyle.
spicing up.
Jack Boyle came up with the ball, yeah. You can just see him here, gets really low and just reaches for the line.
And it was the speed of the pickup there. Didn't wait for the Shannon defence to get set. And Shannon feeling there was a bit of interference there from Evan Coyle.
Really good from Jack Boyle. He's just back after a few months out, so he'll be delighted to get that under his belt. Involved in the Leinster setup now these days as well, so he'll be probably looking to under strength. But he'll be hoping he can get through this game anyway and kick on from here, and because he was going very well before the injury.
It'd be interesting to see if he's slated for just 40 minutes on his first game back after a long break, or whether he's kept on.
Mick Maloney adds the 2 for UCD. We're 14 all here.
I think Gilly, the feeling out has been done now, and it's really both teams certainly know each other at this stage, know what they like, know what they don't like about each other. It's certainly going to be a buzzy second half.
Absolutely, it's real set up for a proper AIL fixture, with two teams needing any points they can get at this stage of the season, with the relegation battle, unfortunately, in both clubs' heads. Bobby Sheehan just getting strapped up there. He's not going to come off this pitch. Shannon with the restart, and Dylan O'Grady pretty solid underneath it.
Decent height on that. Decent hang time.
UCD need to just get rid of this ball and clear their lines. Shannon putting pressure on the ruck.
I love the way Shannon challenged the rucks every time, not letting UCD have an easy moment.
And Ross Deegan leaves the corner unoccupied. Harry Donnelly's back there to clean up. And I think that's half time, and Harry Donnelly accepts that, and we go in 14-all. What a half of rugby.
Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to in the second half. Both teams giving it the holly here today, and the crowd letting them both sides know that they're here.
After a slow start, UCD be pretty happy with that.
We're done.
Welcome back. You just UCD penalty off the restart, and UCD now have a line out just on this Shannon 10. You can see Jack Boyle gone off and Hugo O'Malley's come in Jack Boyle obviously only able to play 40 minutes, just back from injury. James Tarrant has a snipe inside. Does really well. Kelvin Brown looking to hold him up, but James Tarrant gets to deck. Hugo O'Malley pops it back inside to Dylan O'Grady. Jerry Hill has a go through the midfield. Shannon looked to be off his feet. Jordan Prendeville, but the referee plays on. Tim Corkery playing first receiver. Joe Cronin. Niall Carroll puts boot to ball. Calls the mark just about inside his own 22.
Yeah, good hands by UCD around the edges there. Bit more vigour about them. But very well claimed there. For the
Jack O'Donnell there for Shannon calling the mark.
College still in the Shannon half. And as we suspected, Jack Boyle just being eased back into rugby after a long layoff. So the word would have come down from Leinster Rugby that one half was going to be enough. And he picked up a 5-pointer in his time on the field. But we'll see what his absence does now as this game goes to the wire in this half.
One there by Martin Fallon. UCD look to go wide. Niall Carroll now. Out to Ross Deegan, who cuts inside. Big physical man, Ross Deegan.
Again, Gilly all being played behind the gain line, and we're still behind the gain line.
Correct. Shannon putting a lot of pressure on the UCD ball. Mick Maloney looks to dig it out, but Shannon putting huge pressure on us. Corkery now throws a loopy pass, but Harry Donnelly does well to put him down. Sean McCarthy, the Shannon captain, and Shannon put the dink through, but we'll come back for the advantage. Aaron Hare put the dink through, but nothing really came of it, and we'll go back to the penalty advantage.
Well, UCD, their own worst enemy there. You know, a good take on off the line out, first phase ball, and here we are. Lost 10 metres, throw an intercept, give away a penalty.
John O'Sullivan into the corner for Shannon, and big moment. First proper attack for Shannon in the second half.
Yeah, well, gifted to them by UCD, inviting Shannon into the game as if Shannon need any invitation whatsoever.
Jordan Prendeville needs to find his man here, and I presume Shannon will opt for the maul, which has worked for them in the first half. They go to the front.
UCD staying on the ground to compete, and again, what's worked for Shannon.
Trying to get a shove forward. Left. Sean McCarthy, captain, breaks off. Shannon really looking to go through UCD physically here.
Too generous from UCD so far. Somebody needs to be meeting them on the line if they're going to stop this.
Lee Nicholas. Shannon go wide. They've numbers. Really good from Ross Deegan there on the edge. Gets a man on ball and stops him in his tracks. Shannon had the overlap, but Deegan did really well to get off the line and shut it down. Shannon go through the forwards now again. Shannon get over. Michael Cook kind of just opened up in front of him.
And he took full advantage. Great break.
UCD just kind of asleep on the blind side, and
nice switch up from the scrum half. Obviously called for the out half. He sees his opportunity, steps, and nice bit of pace there. Rides the tackle and in. Michael Cook will be taking the heart rate down now to see if he can convert his own try. First blood to Shannon in the second half.
Shannon got some really easy access, obviously originally by the UCD error, but UCD looked to be quite slow off the line.
Yeah, and UCD even in possession, it's been passive again today.
Michael Cook strikes it well. Touch judges don't approve and they flag stay down. Once again, a big thank you to matchday sponsors MMPI for their continued support of the club. James Tarrant with the restart. Kicks deep. Shannon goes straight to boot. Niall Carroll underneath this now. Shannon, a really good strong line on the kick chase. It's a good offload from Tarrant. Shannon just making it really tricky at ruck time for UCD. Mick Maloney goes again. Bill Burns. And wins the penalty.
In the interest of full declaration here, MMPI match sponsors. The M, the first M in MMPI stands for Maloney. So Brian Maloney, founder of MMPI, and it is his son Mick Maloney playing at 9. But in fairness, he's been playing there all season, so there's no question of Mick's place in the team being swayed by the match sponsor. I think sponsorship has followed form.
We've got Alex O'Grady, brother of Dylan, coming onto the left wing here, which sees Tim Corkery coming off and Niall Carroll going into the centre, I believe.
Shannon challenging that line out again and nearly winning it, so they've figured out the codes, that's for sure.
With Jerry Hill now again, he's been everywhere today. And they go wide to Harry Donnelly out the back. Tarrant is met by Jack O'Donnell from Shannon. Evan Coyle goes forward now. Driven backwards. Shannon slow to roll, but will still play. Hugo O'Malley goes forward now. James Tarrant sits back deep. Looks for Niall Carroll on the far wing. Niall gathers it. Oh, it's really good cover from Shannon.
Yeah, and a fine bit of skill there, but it's College really had to do that because Shannon's defence, very vigorous, and they hadn't really broken them down at all. So it needed a bit of individual skill, and while Shannon had to put into the line out here.
You can see it there. Niall Carroll does well to gather, but it's good, really good cover defence from Shannon.
2 men on him. Again,
Aaron
good
Hare.
shape, good structure to Shannon throughout this game in attack and defence.
Good option though from Tarrant. UCD look to be going backwards, and varying it up like that kind of makes Shannon turn and makes Shannon think anyway. Shannon win the line
UCD
out.
competing themselves that time and almost getting to it, so both sides putting pressure on the other's ball.
Shannon just look to exit here and clear their lines, with UCD making it difficult for them.
Nudging it on another metre or two.
Aaron Hare at the base of the ruck. Opposite box kick himself. And it's into the stand.
Well, now,
UCD be pleased.
pleased enough, but can they figure out how to hold their own ball and how to keep it away from the Shannon counter jumpers? That's become a theme now in this game. And if UCD are going to go anywhere, it'll probably be through the line out now that they've both of the Leinster Academy props have left the field. The line out, it looks to be their better option.
Shannon up again, but it's won by Bill Burns in the air. Ross Deegan, UCD with this nice starter play.
Good carry.
Mick Maloney feeds it to Sheehan. Shannon slow to roll away, but the referee decides to play with Niall Carroll now. Ross Deegan outside him. Deegan goes for the corner. Oh, it's really good. Gorgeous hands from Niall Carroll, and Deegan's away in the corner.
Well, the replay is going to be interesting on this one. There was all sorts of shenanigans there at the base of the scrum, at the base of the ruck. Good hands, good distribution from Tarrant. Carroll straightens nicely.
Really good from
And
Carroll.
Yeah, good there's only the one camera angle there for UCD, because maybe the hands went backward, but the ball, to my eye anyway, seemed to drift a little bit forward. But the score is 19 apiece.
Mick Maloney just at the last breakdown looked to have fumbled it, but referee played on, and there was a Shannon player in the way, so maybe gave UCD the benefit of the doubt. And
Both
Mick Maloney
teams
here
score. Sorry, Gilly.
looks to add 2.
Both teams score a lot of try bonus points, and they're both on 3 tries apiece now. So UCD on 6 try bonus points this season so far, Shannon on 5. So they're both primed to get another point that way. And losing bonus points, UCD lost 9 and picked up 4 losing bonus points. Shannon lost 8 and have picked up 2.
Mick Maloney can't add the 2 points there. And I haven't counted how many times we've had a draw in this game, but it feels like a lot. We're back 19-all, and there's nothing between the teams.
5 matches between the clubs overall in the AIL here at the Belfield Bowl, with Shannon winning 3 of those. Most of them close affairs, and the last of them an 8-pointer in 2019. Again, Gilly, easy access into the game for Shannon with a UCD penalty similar to the last time out.
I think it was a accidental offside. Bill Burns goes into the air, and then Evan Coyle, who's in front of him. Not sure exactly the penalty was for, but Shannon into the UCD 22, and we'll look to build on this.
Bill Burns, number 8, son of Willie Burns, legend for college in Lansdowne, back in the 80s at hooker. He was a hooker with the skills of a centre 3/4.
Played a bit of GA for Offaly as well, I believe.
Don't believe everything he tells you.
Shannon with the ball now, back with Jordan Prendeville. And UCD come away with that one. They'll be very pleased.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, it's only a scrum. I think Maloney tried to go quickly. I think it was Prendeville and whoever else was in front of him broke off. And obviously the maul has to stay together. You can't, obstruction was called.
Obstruction to me is a penalty, so why is it a scrum?
Possible accidental, I think. But you're getting into technicalities.
Is this the first scrum of the second half?
Yeah, I believe so. I presume UCD will just look to build the platform to exit from this. They won't be messing around. They want to get back down into the Shannon half. Mick Maloney has it at the base, feeds it to Tarrant, and Tarrant goes straight away. It's a really good ball from James Tarrant there.
An excellent exit, best of the day by either side. Scrum was under a bit of pressure, but Tarrant with a very classy relieving kick.
And rightly applauded by the crowd here in the UCD ball. Oren Ring coming on for Shannon here. Judging by the calls from their supporters, as he has no number on his back. Not sure who's going to make way.
Playing the Eddie Jones style of rugby, you don't need a number on your back. You can just run on and play anywhere.
Shannon line out on the far side, in between the halfway and 10-metre line. It's back with Prendeville again. UCD holding firm. Shannon looked to get a second shove on. Referee telling Aaron Hare the ball's there and to use it. Deegan underneath this. Pressure's on. Really good. Really good under that pressure.
Big pressure. He's been
David
very
Howard
solid.
only now. UCD have space here if they look to use it. Dylan O'Grady. Taken down by Killian Deneen. Ball stayed in somehow. And Oren Ring takes it forward. John O'Sullivan playing 9. Taken forward by David Marr.
Who wants it more? Again, UCD, no line speed there. Inviting them onto it.
Jack O'Donnell on the far wing, getting close to UCD 22 now.
Shannon opening it up a little bit here, Morgilly.
More expansive rugby than we've seen. They've been pretty direct so far, but it was nice play going from wing to wing, and they'll look to go wide again here. Deneen out to Oren Ring, who's just on the pitch. Back with John O'Sullivan.
Good quick ball here.
They're looking to play now. They're looking to open up UCD.
Going up through the middle, up the guts.
Luke Rigney takes it forward, and Aaron Hare feeds it now to Kieran Ryan. Shannon slowing it down now and going a bit more direct. That's Calvin Brown taking it forward. He's isolated here if UCD look to poach, but they don't. Michael Cook dinks it through.
That
Dylan
kind of
O'Grady
petered
back
out there for Shannon. It's not over yet, but not quite sure why they dinked.
They were playing some quite nice rugby, but they kind of decided to go a bit more direct, and it went a bit flat for them.
Yeah, you feel ball in hand would have served them better. But UCD still have to clear this, and based on previous block downs, touches, a bit of a Hail Mary here.
Really good from Maloney, and he wins a penalty, offside again. Shannon probably a bit too keen with the block down, Murph.
Yeah, well, they've had good return out of it so far, so they're hoping to fill their boots one more time. But as you said, they've overdone it.
You can see there just creeping forward. I think that's the second penalty they've given away for that offside. So touch judge just having a word with the referee, probably something other than the offside.
Referee Cole not interested in having bystanders in this conversation. So
interesting to see if anything comes of it. I'd be of the view of let them
Shannon
play.
player being called forward here, so something the linesman has seen that
I think it's
probably he's not happy
just Captain Sean McCarthy, I believe, and winger Jack O'Donnell being called over. We'll see if any actions taken. I didn't actually see anything. There must have been something off the ball or in the previous play.
Oh,
Goes to
and
the
there's
pocket, and it's a yellow card.
All right, that's one yellow apiece in this match so far between the two. And UCD getting a penalty further up the field but closer to the touchline. Probably James Tarrant would marginally prefer this position to the one with a bit more angle to work with, the earlier penalty.
Come on, Shannon.
Tarrant, not his best kick, but it was a tough angle, as Murph said.
Yeah, and the overall outcome of the linesman's intervention is it's 14-15 and probably further up the pitch than they otherwise would have been. Still UCD throw in.
That Darren McSweeney, who just came on, looks a big unit. I believe Ireland under-20 representative and involved in the Munster Academy at the moment, which doesn't surprise me. And Andrew Cowell calls that crooked throw.
From the back there, Shannon Propp, who's just come on, he looks like Tyke Furlong to my eye. Here we go, and you see that UCD, they're under pressure. Shannon really pushing the line, a bit of argy-bargy between them before the ball was put in. And UCD know that Shannon are going for every ball, so that probably preyed on Bobby Sheehan's mind and has resulted in first crooked of the day.
So Shannon now with the scrum, about 8 metres inside UCD's half. Aaron Hare to feed the ball. As you can all tell, the game on a real knife edge. Next score, pretty important.
Scrum
Rock solid.
nowhere, yeah.
Rock solid. Aaron Hare looks to use it now.
Shannon looking for the penalty and UCD counter.
Go on, Alan. Go on, Alan.
In the midfield with Alan Flannery.
Go on, Owen.
Oren Ring takes it forward. James Harmer with the tackle.
Shannon Hooker very slow to get up from that last scrum, and he's tottering.
Ref said it went backwards. Offloaded by Aaron Hare. Back with Oren Ring. Aaron Hare digs it out. Dara McSweeney goes forward. And UCD win the penalty. Evan Coyle. Really, really good. Veteran for UCD at this stage. And James Tarrant looks to go across the pitch here. You won't be able to see it, but the ref calls it back. You can see Evan Coyle gets over the ball here, and there's only one Shannon man trying to move
releasing. Yeah, referee not allowing the quick penalty. We've an injury here. Yeah, the Shannon hooker, Jordan Prendeville, he was very slow to come up from that last scrum, and when he did eventually rise to his feet, he was unsteady. So rightly taking some time here to give the medics an opportunity.
More importantly, give the players, let them take a breath. It's been pretty helter-skelter for the last number of minutes.
I don't know what Mrs. Prendeville would say to that. The magic water bottle seems to be brought some relief to him.
Darren,
it looks like he's leaving the pitch here now. Jordan Prendeville, he's been very lively throughout the game, thrown some great darts throughout, but his caution is being taken and he's leaving the field. Safety first.
UCD with the line out inside the Shannon half. Bobby Sheehan to throw in. UCD will look to play from this. Jerry Hill takes another line out into the midfield to Deegan. Carroll now out the back to Tarrant, back to Deegan. It's nice from UCD. Oh, and Deegan with the straight pass. He'll be disappointed with that because.
And College have not crossed the gain line in that for all the nice movement and the nice handling and the nice lines.
Counts for nothing.
It doesn't deliver anything on this occasion either.
Back pretty much on the opposite side of the pitch now, opposite touchline. The Shannon ball and Darren Farrar to throw in. UCD making their voices heard, the supporters here. For a first throw, I wouldn't fancy it, Connor.
No.
And he delivers. The maul taken out. I think Bill Burns in the middle of that.
Hey!
There's an off the ball with Evan Coyle and Dara McSweeney there, but back with UCD now in the 10-metre line. Oisin Spain, who's the under 20 level, stepping up to AIL the last few games, done really well. Bobby Sheehan now goes forward, gets across the gain line, really good from Bobby Sheehan. Back with Oisin Spain. UCD look to move it now with Tarrant. Tarrant goes nowhere with that. Back with Maloney. Puts the boot on it. It's a really good looking kick. Oh, it's really good for Mick Maloney. 50-22, that'll be UCD ball.
That's a big turning point. Apologies there to our viewers for loss of control there by yours truly here. Just watched a big haymaker go in on one player to another, but everybody's still standing and seems to be all right. And James Tarrant just beginning to show a few nice touches and putting UCD into the right parts of the field.
Really good from Maloney there. Saw the space in behind and went after it and got his reward. Bobby Sheehan now throwing in just inside the Shannon 22. Big line out. Bill Burns goes up. UCD got to the maul. Back with Bobby Sheehan now. Peels off. UCD needs to get over that ball. Mick Maloney had to go in to secure it. Evan Coyle now takes it forward. Mick Maloney at the back. Tips on to Joe Cronin. Out now with Ross Deegan. Needs to hold on to the ball. He does so. Into Bobby Sheehan now. He's probably isolated, but Joe Cronin gets there. Deegan now needs support. UCD are kind of going off on their own here, Merv.
He's a brothy lad, Deegan, and he's looking for more of the ball. He's really up for this game.
Advantage UCD now. Jerry Hill. James Tarrant looks to use the free play. Niall Carroll's on that edge again, but there's a cover tackle there. We'll go back for the penalty, and UCD will probably take the 3 points here.
That's what you do, is it?
I think so. In a game like this, I think 3 points are crucial.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
It's not an absolute gimme though. If you were
No.
if you were playing golf, you'd make him put it out.
Well, it wouldn't matter what foot I was hitting it with. It wouldn't be entertained. I'd be tap and go. Wouldn't even trust myself to kick for touch.
It's probably not as obvious now. Opted for the scrum.
That's a big call.
With
big call.
Shannon down to 14 still, it's probably the right call. UCD will look to get around them.
UCD backing the Hugo O'Malley and Evan Coyle, who've played obviously play most of the time starting players here for UCD. So they're backing themselves here against the Shannon scrum. Michael Maloney, there's a move on, a lot of chat behind the hands between the halfbacks.
We've Niall Carroll now playing in the centre, and I believe Dylan O'Grady to full back.
Ross Deegan, has he come into the centre as well, or is he just in
I
for
think
this?
I think he's just in for this. There was a bit of movement once Tim Corker came off. Tim Corker, of course, Leinster representative with 2 or 3 caps, I believe, for the senior team. But there was a bit of rejigging in the back line for UCD, but it hasn't seemed to affect them too much.
Deegan here out in the second centre channel. He's all of 6'4", and
Maloney feeds to Carroll.
he's the dummy. He's the decoy on it.
Dylan O'Grady dances through the midfield. Can he get through? He's a metre short.
There's players down, head injuries. Both
UCD looks. They're about. Are they held up? I believe held up. Held up is the call from Andrew Cole. There was bodies.
Running repairs again, though. There's looks like probably a clash of heads.
There was a few bodies across the pitch, and UCD were very, very close to getting over there.
Is it Ross Deegan and Jack O'Donnell as the two fellas who seem to have clashed? Jack O'Donnell looking like he's come off worse.
Once again, thank you to MMPI for sponsoring today's match. And boy, what a match it's been. So we've Hugo O'Malley down, and also Michael Cook, with about 27 minutes left to play. Give or take. 27 gone. Losing track of all things here. Hugo O'Malley just.
John, don't quote me on this, but I think then that means there's 13 minutes left.
Thank you, Murph.
Yeah.
Maths
So
was
they have a
never
big
a
box.
strong point.
Well, that's what smartphones are for.
Some would say you don't need it in the commentary game, but it always comes in handy.
Well, it's all about big data now, isn't it?
Goal line restart taken by Oisin Spain. Mick Maloney's digging for it at the back, and Shannon come through, but I don't think they were entitled to, and the referee agrees.
Now, what would you do here? They didn't go for the 3 the last time. They didn't
I
listen
think
to you
this
last
is,
time, Gilly. What are they going to do here?
This is an easier angle anyway. I think the last one, once I saw where it was from, it wasn't as obvious. Sean McCarthy trying to plead with the referee, but Andrew Cole sticking by his decision, as we see pretty much 100% of the time. So Mick Maloney takes the tee and looks to add 3 points, which could be crucial come the end of this game.
Clouds have come in on us again. Whatever sunshine was there is gone. But still, breathless conditions for Maloney to size this one up.
And the ball falls silent, and you can tell how big a moment this is.
Which reflects again on the great traditions of Shannon Rugby Club. Great respect shown.
Maloney strikes it well. The flags go up. Adds the 3 points. That'll be Mick Maloney's last act. He's had a great game, hasn't he, Murph?
He has, yeah. His kicking has been excellent, and his service to Tarrant has been good. Shannon looked to have completely emptied their bench at this stage. Maloney's off, and I'll spare my co-commentator's blushes as his cousin Rob Gilson comes on at scrum half for UCD.
Rob now with the box kick. His first act is pretty good. The kick chase is good from UCD.
A lot of snow on that one.
Taken well by John O'Sullivan and fed to Michael Cook, who's taken down in the midfield. Back to John O'Sullivan. And it's kind of a kick into the middle of the pitch, but he does well to gather it.
Beautifully
He found a bit of grass.
No man's land.
Shannon looks to go wide here with Michael Cook. Out to Sean McCarthy. Does really well. Killian Deneen. Shannon look for a quick ball. They get it. UCD trying to slow it down there.
Referee's playing an advantage here.
And it's a penalty.
That's the second penalty. He had the arm out around the 10-metre line for a late tackle, but
Shannon got some great go forward ball.
yeah, again, real pace, fast turnover, and that's what you want.
Killian Deneen putting a great injection of pace on things.
Everything's
And
possible
Shannon
with
go
a
into the
fast ball.
corner now. 3 points behind UCD, but they'll be looking for more than 3 here, as they're about 5 metres short of the UCD line.
New combinations, new hooker, new lifters. We have the same result.
Be interesting. UCD look to they stay on the ground, set them all. It's pretty solid from UCD, but Shannon look to peel off and get the
Anti-clockwise
second
again.
shove.
Splintering UCD looks good for Shannon.
UCD trying to get under that. I think they have got under it. Desperate defence from UCD, but they managed to hold it up. That's big from UCD.
Sean McCarthy very definitely not happy, and he's not going to persuade the referee again.
We've probably less than 10 minutes to play. That's a big moment for UCD to hold them out, and they'll look to kick deep here with the goal line dropout.
Here's the replay. College player over the ball. I suppose they reckon that the ruck's gone down.
Andrew Cole somehow saw where the ball was and made that call.
Well, he's calling it a scrum. It's not held up over the line. It's not a dropout.
UCD ball. But not 100% sure what the call was there, but
UCD ball, and Rob Gilston now will see. It was an excellent clearance kick from him in his first action of the game. See, does he play it out to Tarrant here, or does he
might go
touch himself?
box kick straight away.
Yeah, well, that Tarrant wiper has been working well for UCD in the second half. Do they dare go for it here? There is a bit of space on the Shannon left wing if he can reach that far.
The referee will go for a reset.
Gilson putting it straight across to Carroll. Will we see that again?
They might just go one phase and then look to exit to get the angle and put it out of play. They might use Carroll just to crash it up and then exit, but you don't want to be messing around too much with it.
Slender lead being protected here, and the pitch cutting up a bit. Shannon will be putting everything into this. Interesting to see if Aaron Hare, scrum half, whether he looks to put the pressure on Gilson. He stays off him.
Steady scrum. Rob picks blind side to Alex O'Grady. UCD need to secure this ball.
Risky business, I have to say.
Keeping it tight. Just need to UCD call for a high tackle, but I think there was not much in it. UCD looking to exit now. They need to just get rid of this, as Shannon putting huge pressure on the ruck. Gilson in with the left peg. Pretty good exit from where he was. With the touch judge bringing proceedings just inside the UCD 10-metre line.
And that was Gilson on Gilson, but it's a fair call. It's an excellent exit from a very narrow angle, and Gilson's kicking has certainly made an impact. But it's still Shannon ball, and it's still in the UCD half as things get a bit misty here, it has to be said.
Shannon in no rush. UCD calling for them. And Jerry Hill gets up and steals the line out. It's back with Gilson and feeds to Carroll. They'll probably look to exit from here. They don't want to be playing around back here with it. But they'll build to a position where they're comfortable with it.
Well, they're going backwards there again. Speed
Another,
off the line for Shannon.
Jerry Hill's been immense. Another steal in the line out from himself. He's been all over the pitch today. And Rob again puts one high for Aaron Hare to gather into John O'Sullivan, and John O'Sullivan puts one in the air to Tess O'Grady.
It's a fair challenge in the air, both players going for that.
Tarrant comes away with it into Hugo O'Malley now with the offload, and the referee calls a forward pass.
And that's why props aren't supposed to offload. It's not their fault trying to emulate the pro game.
The referee has called time off, and I'd say we're approaching the last probably 5 minutes. And it gives an opportunity for everyone to take a breath, including ourselves, Murph.
Yeah, well, we're both sides. Shannon will be on for a bonus point here, losing bonus point. Neither side have reached the magic number of 4 tries for a try bonus point. But both sides want the win here, plain and simple. It's pretty much an 8-pointer for either side to win. They both play very similar teams to each other in the run in. So to get one up on the other at this stage.
We'll restart here with a scrum in the midfield for Shannon, just inside the UCD half, and Aaron Hare will feed. Aaron Hare, actually a Ireland club international, and he was back when Munster had their crisis of half their squad in South Africa. He was actually called into the Munster squad last February, I believe, when they had awful issues with COVID and disruptions to that.
Where else would you get information like that?
But he's been all over the place today, Aaron Hare, and Shannon win the penalty off that scrum. They really dominated there.
Big time. That wasn't even close.
And Shannon having a discussion on what exactly to do. And John O'Sullivan will kick for the corner.
In the days of yore, I'd have expected the Shannon pack to say we'll scrum again. They wouldn't even bother with the kick to touch.
And they've the line out just inside the UCD 22.
Back in the days when Mick Moylett, one of Shannon's internationals, would have been powering things from the second row, and Mick Moylett's here today as president of Shannon with a strong support as always. Travelling numbers always, Shannon.
Huge history, huge tradition. Great club. And it's a crooked throw. Pressure put on by UCD in the air. That's a big moment. Shannon will be really disappointed there. Really big moment, because Shannon would have looked to gone to the maul and probably power through UCD,
but there's scrum time to be dealt with still, Gilly.
Correct, you are. UCD will look to get this in and out as quickly as possible.
And we're on 78 minutes at this stage, according to the unofficial timers. So all that matters is the referee's whistle.
Gilson into feed. Rock solid scrum so far. He's not hanging around. He's getting it out into Carroll, into the midfield. Oh, Carroll really good today on his last appearance of the season. We wish him all the best in Australia. Out to Tarrant, and Tarrant, big exit. He's hit just as he kicked it, but
that's a boomer.
Referee plays on. And Shannon have the line out on the far side, just inside the UCD 10-metre line. Time will stop for James Tarrant to receive a bit of treatment.
All right. So as we see there, really in the relegation battle, Lansdowne for now have put a little bit of distance between themselves and Shannon. But when you look at the run in here, the next games for UCD, they play Garryowen, they play Cork Con, they play Terranure, Young Munster, Trinity and Tarf. Whereas Shannon are looking at Trinity, Garryowen, Tarf, Con, Hinch and Terranure. So very tough run-ins for both of them. Both sides play Garryowen in the next few weeks.
UCD pressure in the air again, and Bobby Sheehan gathers it at the back, at the tail.
UCD just winning, sort of edging possession here at the moment.
Some crucial lineouts in the last few minutes. Giving Shannon no opportunity to play. Gilson puts boot to ball. It's a good kick chase. Pressure on, and it's knock-on advantage for UCD. Really, really good box kick, and probably a better kick chase from Deegan, who put serious pressure on the Shannon winger.
You know, those between the lineouts, edging the lineouts, and also the height, getting on the box kicks. UCD's kicking the ball, not putting it through the hands, has served them well in the last 10 minutes or so. But again, it's scrum time. UCD were rock solid the last time. Sometimes the pack can just switch off mentally, and that's probably what we saw with UCD being rocketed back by the Shannon pack 2 scrums ago. They shored it up in the last scrum. Let's see. It's do or die for Shannon now. They really need to turn this over if at all possible. So
scrum here just outside the Shannon 10-metre line. About 1 minute
solid
from
again.
what we can hear on the ground here. Niall Carroll goes through the gap. Really, really good. UCD just looking to hold on to this ball. Bill Burns takes it forward.
Burns. That was up in his grill.
Hugo Malley gets ready. It's actually Evan Coyle who takes it up.
College keeping it tight here,
Shannon,
controlling it.
Shannon looking for any opportunity for a turnover. Jerry Hill again. He'll feel it tomorrow. He's been everywhere today. Oisin Spain.
Nice step inside and good yardage.
Serious step up from under 20 level, but he doesn't look out of place at all. UCD just keeping it tight, giving Shannon no opportunity. Looks to be over. And James Tarn sends it off the pitch, and UCD have won in an absolute thriller here in the Belfield Bowl. UCD coming out on top, 22 points to 19. And wow, Merv, thoughts?
I didn't see that coming. I really thought Shannon had more composure. They better shape around their game overall, you know, from 1 to 15. But College found the grit. Shannon lost their way, didn't take advantage of the possession they had, and College found the grit, and they really manned up there. Certainly, you'd have to applaud the front row and the way the forwards got that scrum back together again, and held out for strong scrums to close out the game, and just edged the tight decisions and the tight plays in the last few minutes of the game. Gilly?
Yeah. UCD putting proper pressure on the last few Shannon lineouts. Probably the difference in the end. Shannon had a few opportunities inside the UCD half, but wow, what a game. And huge thank you once again to MMPI, today's match sponsors.
Maloney Mortgages, Pensions and Investments will be buying the rounds. Hopefully Brian Maloney inside in the clubhouse. Yeah. That puts, I think, we're UCD are 1 behind. Shannon with 1 point for losing bonus point. College with 4 points for winning. So, by again big data calculations here, Gilly, I'm calling it here. I'm saying that College go 2 points ahead of Shannon, and I'm unanimous on that.
I think you're correct. I won't argue with it anyway. And yeah, you can see how much it means to the UCD players there. And that's all from us today here in the UCD Bowl. Thank you very much for tuning in. Once again, UCD coming out 22 points to 19, and wow, what a game we're after watching.
Thanks also to Doppler Media for the streaming, and thanks to everyone for tuning in. We had 800 viewers for the last match, or close on, and with Gilly here, I think we're going to boost those numbers. When Christine gets back, we're bound to break the 1,000. Paul O'Riordan and Paul Holland here hurling abuse at us, hurling abuse at the commentators. So I think it's a good time to close, Gilly.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Merv. A pleasure, and see you next time.